It should have been one night only, a cheap Airbnb in another country, not like fancy, just somewhere to crash after the concert. I didn't need a 5-star experience, just a bed. That's all I needed. But from the very first moment I walked in, something felt off. My phone's data roaming had completely failed, and I was stranded in a foreign city. Once I was logged into a cafe's Wi-Fi, I wrote out my route the old-fashioned way, then made my way to the house. I rang the bell. Nothing. I rang again. Still nothing. I waited. 5 minutes. No sign of life. Then my curiosity, or perhaps my unease, took over. The door had a mail slot on it. I crouched and looked inside, and what I saw gave me goosebumps. It was not a comfy house or an inviting foyer. It was a dusty, deserted-looking place. There was a saggy couch covered in filth directly in front of the door. Shadows of furniture covered with old sheets loomed in the darkness. The air smelled stale, forgotten. This was not a house set up for company. It wasn't a house at all. It was a relic, a place frozen in time, but still inhabited. I was about to double-check the address when an old man materialized out of nowhere. His clothes went unwashed, his face weathered with age and mud. He mumbled something, and I struggled to understand him. "Airbnb?" I asked. He nodded. "Are you Tim?" Another nod. The door creaked open. I should have turned around, but I should have gone with my gut. But I followed him inside. The staircase was the piece de resistance, a bone-dry, timbered skeleton of a thing. It creaked under the weight of age. Every corner of the house felt blanketed in shadows. Furniture toppled over like long abandoned memories pulled away, clothed in sheets of dust. A thick, heavy curtain concealed something that I could not quite see. I followed him up the stairs. The air was heavy with the stench of stale cigarettes and something more, something putrefying. The second floor was worse. Grim, mismatched furniture, dirty old paintings and crucifixes lined the cracked walls, the set of a horror movie. Then came the third, my floor, and it was the worst one yet. The walls split with cracking like veins. Pale paintings of dour rural scenes gazed down on me. The furniture nearly thrown together in disarray. It all seemed wrong. No one had really lived here in years. He led me to the bathroom. There was a gaping hole in the tiling of the bathtub. The sink was caked in grime. The aging mirror mirrored my brewing discomfort. Finally, my room. But at a glance, it was manageable. Then I noticed them. Dozens of dolls lined up on the shelves, glass eyes staring lifelessly into the room. I swallowed hard. In an effort to ground myself in reality, I asked, "Do you have Wi-Fi?" "No." My heart sank. That meant there was no form of communication for me. No way to call for help. "When's checkout?" I tried next. He shrugged. "It doesn't matter." I froze. What the hell does that mean? Without saying anything else, he dragged himself upstairs, to the 4th floor. The one that was utterly enveloped in total darkness. And just like that, I was by myself. I was looking around my surrounds, when a horrible realization hit me that made my stomach churn. There were no locks. Not on my bedroom door, not on the bathroom, not on the toilet. Nothing. I'd turned away from the bathroom and noticed something stranger still. There are dozens of half-used toiletries on the shelves. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, random makeup items, not arranged in kindly fashion for guests, but left behind, as if their owners simply had disappeared. Were they the remains of past residents? Or had no one ever left? My mind spiraled. Did they just leave in a rush? Or had they been taken? I know one thing. I'm not sleeping over. I hurried to change and charge my phone, slipping a folded piece of paper under my door, a trick to see whether anyone had entered while I was gone. Then I took my necessities and left. But just as I was going down the stairs, I heard it. The noise of a key in the front door. I braced myself. Maybe it was the host's wife. There was a mention of a couple in the listing. The door creaked open. A middle-aged man walked in and smiled. "Hey, I'm Tim." The breath left my lungs. I stared at him. So who the hell was the other guy? David. My stomach flipped. "Run!" My mind was screaming at me. But I made myself do normal, small talk, fake a smile. Just get the hell out. And I did. The concert was incredible. Worth every second of fear. But then, exhaustion knocked on the door. There was no way I would stay up all night, so I found a hostel. It wasn't fancy, but there were locks, a working shower, and Wi-Fi, which now felt like lifelines. The next morning, I had to go back to get my things, and as I drew near the house, morbid curiosity took a hold. I looked through the mail slot, and then I jumped back. Because right there, snoring, splayed out on that dusty old couch, directly facing the door, was the old man. The first Tim. I held my breath, prayed he wouldn't wake up. I slid inside, snatched my bag from my vacated room, and left the place forever. Did I overreact? Maybe. But tell me. Two different Tims. A house with no locks, a checkout that didn't matter. If this wasn't a horror setup, what was? At best, I would have just had the worst night of my life. Worst case? Well, let's just say I was glad I never found out.